always try to show grey stones in a good light, but we actually have a crappy rain today. I was just thinking, I didn't know anything about Hodgkin's lymphoma until I'd been speaking to you. Did you know anything about it before it came along in your life?
I think I'd heard the word, but I didn't even know what kind of disease it actually was. Like, it could have been a cold for all I knew beforehand, or like some weird other kind of disease. I didn't know it was a type of cancer.
Right.
So, yeah.
And what can you remember that there's a sense of you know, being diagnosed and we know that thankfully it wasn't, you know, serious in your case, but I don't know whether there was a head spinning moment that it all came to you, that was it a, I don't know how that felt when you discovered it.
No, it was actually nearly a relief to be diagnosed, because I'd been having symptoms like of basically unexplained symptoms for a year beforehand that were quite traumatic to live with. So in a way I was quite happy to find out what it was, and knowing that it wasn't the most serious type of cancer and the cure rate is so high, it was actually nearly like a liberating moment, if you can believe it.
Well, I saw, just the one thing I read now, in the US now in 2015 there was 574,000 cases, and of that 23,900 people died, which is, you know, and it's between 20 and 40 generally is the kind of vulnerable time for.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm the exact, what was it, 25 when I started experiencing symptoms, so that's like nearly the exact classic age for someone to have this kind of thing. It's kind of like the young person's one, I suppose. Like,
And the symptoms I read, I don't know if this was your case now, the fever, night sweats, weight loss. I know there's certain.
I had those and all in various degrees, but for me the number one was I was itchy all over for a year, which was an unpleasant experience to say the least. I was sleeping about 2 hours a night by the end of it. I'd scratched off my eyebrows and I had like little scars on my chest from scratching myself. So it was good fun.
Given that it was a year, was there anything going through your head? You thought, is this just, you know, I'm sure you thought, oh, have I got fleas? Have I got, you know, I don't know.
Oh man, I was googling symptoms like till the cows came home. Like, ironically, the first time I heard the word Hodgkin's lymphoma was actually Google. I was thinking like, go away from me, Google, tell me I have cancer. But Google was right.
Always is. Ultimately, if you keep looking, it'll always eventually find the right answer for you. So that kind of, you know, 6 months of basically getting better. I mean, I don't know whether that was for you like a step out of your of life itself, like of your normal routine. You said yourself you weren't recognizable for a while.
Yeah, of treatment, like. Yeah, it was a weird old experience, but it's quite structured in a way. Like, it's not like there's any like immediate pain, or there wasn't for me. It's just a very, very kind of like lethargic and kind of experience. That was basically I was on a couch for 6 months. Is the easiest way of saying it. But
right. And that idea then of you know, just, I don't know whether one gets the opportunity to rethink life, or, I mean, because you've given a lot of time out of the game, so to speak, or that you're giving a lot of time on your own. I don't know whether you went deep or whether you just watched a lot of telly, or.
There was definitely some extreme deep thinking going on. Like when you've nothing to do and you're lying there, like your mind goes to some very strange places. Just like, what is things? It's like, what is everything?
I have a friend like that.
Yeah.
She's always in that mode.
Yeah. There was a lot of telly though. There was a lot of telly.
And was it? I don't know whether you'd ultimately say, you know, if such things can be termed as a good experience. I don't know whether there was a sort of an appreciation of the fact that you weren't seriously ill, that you were able to get through it. I don't know whether there was that sort of reinstated a kind of a lust for life, or.
Yes and no, I suppose. Like it wasn't a pleasant experience, obviously.
Right.
And I wouldn't recommend it. But
I
don't know, like,
to-do list, right?
Yeah, I mean, my hair was mostly grey before, and now it's kind of black again. So the old consolation prize. But it was like, I don't know.
But I don't know.
Like getting back into life, it's not an immediate switch that can be flipped.
Okay.
Because like once you're finished, it's like you can't go immediately back to doing the things you were doing, because like you're in bits.
Right.
It took basically another 6 months to feel back to my normal self. So, yeah.
So when was the first sort of? I mean, you said you had a year of not knowing what it was. So what sort of year was that? Was that
the first time I actually experienced like the itchy symptoms was the day I graduated from college, actually in 2015.
Right.
So yeah, and then it took until next November until really we knew what was going on. But there was no way of actually really knowing, because like generalized itching can be indicative of so many different things. It's a very, very vague symptom, and like it's nearly impossible for a doctor to say like, oh yeah, that's what you got there. Right. It took until like a lymph node swelled up in my neck, and that was like, oh yeah, there we go. But like, because we were trying, like myself and my doctor, we were trying lots of different things over the course of that year, like trying to work through the list of like various allergies and skin infections and that kind of thing. So it just took a while. But
And that step out now, you showed me just before we spoke the fact that, you know, during that time, you know, you looked so different. You showed me your regular kind of driver license, but then also you have taken your photograph taken for medical card, and you just look like I wouldn't recognise you at all. And that was I don't know whether that was kind of one could even use the word fun, or whether it was just part of the new life that you had to get used to the fact that people don't recognise me when I walk around.
Yeah, like there was that aspect. I mean, like that was not the main aspect. The main aspect was being like nearly borderline afraid to look in the mirror sometimes, and like losing that sense of your own
just
like
because you
personality.
look like me for a while doesn't mean you can get used to it.
You're not that bad. Yeah, but no, it was interesting in ways. I mean, like I'm a twin, as you know. Maybe everybody else doesn't know. So like nearly my twin brother nearly subsumed my own identity because he looked like both of us and I looked like none of us. So yeah, I could walk down Greystones Main Street and no one would recognise me, which was like an interesting experience. But I'd rather have not done it regardless.
Right.
Yeah.
Was young Joseph, how did he find it? That it must have been odd for him to, you know, because twins are very close generally, and certainly when you're physically, you know, identical, just seeing, you know, your other side, your other self, you know, go through something. Was it must have been kind of tough for him at times too.
I'm sure it was. Yeah.
Or was he laughing? He was
I don't know. I'm sure there's lots of gallows humor involved.
Right.
But like,
right.
Yeah, like I'm sure it wasn't easy. But guess I'll have to ask him.
No, I suppose just there's all sorts of unfortunately in this world, cancer still has an ability to come and take wonderful people away from us, and we never know exactly where and when. I don't know whether one could say you learn a lesson, whether there's, you know, because as you say in your case, you did go looking for what the reason behind you weren't well. So it's not like I suppose just regular checkups is the only thing you can say in life, is that it's worth doing. I don't know if the blood can reveal that or
blood didn't reveal anything in my case.
Okay.
It wasn't really indicative. Unfortunately, I think there's no way you can really know. I mean, there are things about getting regular checks, but it depends on the kind of cancer you have.
Right.
Like obviously there's like checking for lumps or whatever, but that wasn't really applicable in mine until it was extremely obvious.
Right.
So I suppose like itching, I don't know if it's a really well known symptom of cancer, and I don't know if it's irresponsible of me to say that if you're itchy you might have cancer, because that's not the case. Like, yeah, I mean, like for mine, only 30% of male people who have it would display itching, so it's not really like something you can say as a definite thing. So it's more like just being aware of yourself and like going to the doctor if you feel sick in any way. And
I've always associated you and Joseph as very kind of generally happy people. Was there such a thing as a point where you weren't happy, where it was just was too much, or?
Not really. I mean, like it wasn't fun, like, but
right.
There were some moments, like there were some complications which I'd rather not describe in detail, that were quite frightening in the immediate time.
Right, right.
Luckily, they're resolved now, more or less. Yeah.
And now it's sort of a case of it all clear. I don't know if I mean some cancers has the ability to come back, and I don't know whether this is one of those.
Yeah, well, like my consultant in his own words said, if it came back for me, I'd be like statistically the most unlucky person in the world. Right. So I'm not too concerned.
Okay, we'll touch
like in a way, like I don't really like to compare myself to other people with cancer, because like in terms of the kind of cancer I had, it's like nearly like winning the lottery in a way. Like I mean, if you're gonna get one, you may as well get that.
Okay.
And like I've had people talk to me and kind of like talk to me about their relatives who have died, and actually cry to me, like explaining their experiences.
Right.
And I feel like somewhat unqualified to actually like compare myself to these people, so I feel pretty lucky in that respect.
Well, it's like you're in an accident, you walked out, you know, fine, and whereas others obviously in an accident don't always walk out fine. Yeah. In all that time that you're talking over those 2 years, maybe, I don't know whether like, I mean, we'll wrap up with this. Did the meaning of life come to you at any point? Because that there are those moments where you're lying on the couch and watching late television. No?
I wish it did. I was thinking about it a lot, but I think my imagination let me down there.
Telly will do that to you. Telly
basically. The West Wing, finish the West Wing. Yeah.